Was it a good idea to have gone on with that agreement, declaring the state of emergency when this challenge still existed, and that's why they say, fulfill your agreement?
I'm sorry? I didn't get that question.
Declared that state of emergency on salary payments when the state knew that it may be difficult fulfilling that promise.
Yes, let me explain. Thank you for this question. Let me explain what we mean by a declaration of emergency on salaries. When we declared the emergency on salaries, some people said, are you saying that you will not do another thing? You will only be paying salaries? And we said no. The meaning of a state of emergency on salaries is that now that we're not getting enough money to pay salaries and do projects, do other things, the little that we get, we first go to salaries. And after we are done with salaries, then we will look at the other sectors. But the priority now is on salaries. So the little that Benue has, workers of the state will first feel the impact of what we have. Then other sectors. That is not to say that other sectors will be abandoned. Of course, as I speak to you, many sectors of Benue's economy are being addressed with the little resources that Governor Samuel Otom has.
Understand that, as you said, the people have an understanding with your government, especially the governor, that the resources are scarce, and they're asking the governor to do more. Could you talk to us along that line? What more is possible that the governor can do?
That's a very interesting question. But again, as I've said, doing more is their right to say government should do more. Why not? The government is ready to do more, and it's already doing that. That is why a committee headed by no other person than the deputy governor of the state. That means the governor himself is heading that committee. If you appoint a deputy governor to head a committee, it means Government House is in charge of that committee to show the seriousness that the government attaches to the issues that affect workers of the state. So ways are being looked into on how Benue can raise money wherever money can legitimately be found to pay salaries. And I think that's what they mean by do more. That is, pay our salaries. So the state is ready. And as soon as funds, as I have said, we're expecting that the second part of the second half of that second quarter of the second tranche of Paris Club will be paid to Benue, and the third tranche will come in. And if that comes in, we'll be looking at money that can pay the state workers for a few more months. And then we are hoping that allocation too will improve. And then the internal revenue, which the state government is doing very well in that regard, to see that it is stepped up. It was stepped up actually, but as I have said, cries were all over the place that the taxes, the revenue regime was becoming too severe on the people. So the government had to relax some of the provisions of that law that the people were complaining about. So, but one promise I can make here on behalf of Governor Samuel Otom is that Benue, the state government of Benue, knows exactly what is right for its workers. And I will not be able to mention how the sources of funds are being explored, but that committee is truly working. And the issue of screening too, we are believing that at the end of it, ghost workers will be eliminated from the payroll of Benue. And if that is done, the wage bill of 4.1 billion will be dropped. Remember that when Governor Otom came in, the wage bill was 8.2 billion. That is at the state and local government levels. But the many screenings that have been done, the wage bill has been able to drop from 8.2 to 7.8. That's both state and local government levels. So we believe that this particular screening, which is a modified table payment, when it is completed, ghost workers will be eliminated from the payroll of Benue, and the wage bill will drop significantly to allow the government do projects pay salaries at the same time.
Okay, let me just come in at this point, even though we've been expecting Godwin Anya, the chairman of NLC Benue chapter, to also talk to us about their own side of the discussion. But looking forward and where to go from here, you did mention that committee they set up to look at other revenue sources, very possible, and that could cover up the backlog of what you have to cover for in terms of payment to the workers. You say that Benue State is the food basket. Is it only agriculture that you're looking forward to, or do you have other things that you do in Benue besides agriculture to raise this internally generated revenue?
Agriculture is our comparative advantage. Benue is the food basket, and so agriculture is on the front burner. But beyond agriculture, the governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, has added to the Ministry of Lands what is called solid minerals. Solid minerals is now part of the Ministry of Lands and Survey. That is to say that Benue is looking in the direction of exploring other mineral resources. Benue has a lot of mineral resources, and we are believing that with the addition of solid minerals to the Ministry of Lands and Survey, very soon we'll be able to bring out other sources of revenue beyond agriculture.
Well, there will definitely be questions as to whether or not you're also looking to add value to the agriculture which is currently going on in Benue State, because a lot of people believe that that's where the real money is, value addition to the product. But we have some questions here from some of our viewers. They are wondering, does the governor take half salary as well?
Let me say that Governor Samuel Otom has also not been paid the same number of months that workers of Benue have been owed. I have not been paid the same number of months.
Okay,
if the workers have not been paid, there is no reason why the governor should be paid in those months.
What about security votes?
Well, you know, security is the constitution of this country says government must provide security for the people.
So there is still a security vote.
There is no option, because remember that before this government came in, security was at near zero level in Benue. Governor Samuel Otom had to move fast. He provided amnesty for
I'm not disputing that. I mean, we're also aware of the farmer herdsman clashes.
So if you say security should not be provided, I mean, the security formations in Benue.
There is nobody who can say that.
It is the duty of the governor to ensure that security formations in Benue, security agencies, are given support to provide security. If they need vehicles, patrol vehicles and all of those, and you don't provide them, then it means you are not doing what you should do as the chief security officer of the state.
So there is still a security vote?
I have said...
It's a yes or no question. I understand
there
the
is
security challenges. I'm just asking.
There is need for the security vote to be in existence, because frequently you have security commanders of Benue coming to the governor, we need to do this.
How much is the security vote?
We need to do this. I won't be able to answer that question.
Well, that's definitely a fine place to leave it. Those questions are coming from some of our viewers, from watching us on television, of course. Mr. Terver Akase, we have to thank you most kindly for coming. He is the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom. Sunrise Daily will continue in just a moment. Please stay with us.